Hi, so this is Abby Machson-Carter, and this is my second attempt to record a Google Hangouts on air intro. It's not really a tutorial, because otherwise I'd be doing a screencast. So the first time I tried, none of the sound recorded, so we'll keep this one brief and see what we can get. So Google Hangouts on air. So if you're watching this, it's because you followed a link to a YouTube video and are getting to see this video. But I'll tell you a little bit of background about how I got here and how I decided to learn about this technology. So I'm learning a lot about video conferencing. I have one job where I'm supposed to be working with clients in Skype. I have another one where I'm going to be working with clients in Google Hangout. I'm learning about the affordances and possibilities of both options. I did a whole training on Skype, so I know a lot about that. Oops, they tried to teach me to turn my notification. I didn't do it. So that's an FYI for all those of you out there trying to produce some videos. Turn off your notifications if you're on a Mac and silence your phone. I'll do that right now. And I can show, maybe I can share my screen with you later and show you guys how to turn off notifications too, because that's pretty cool. So how did I come up with this? So I thought there must be an easy way to record a Skype or Google Hangouts and save it for posterity and share it. And the answer is no, that's not the case. There's some third-party apps that you can get that can do that. One that's supposed to be good is called Zencastr, Z-E-N-C-A-S-T-R, but I haven't tried it yet. And but Skype, there is no native way to record a Skype conversation that I know of without a third-party app. In Google, in the normal, typical Google Hangout, there's also not a way to do it, but you can go through this Google Hangouts on air. So what Google Hangouts on air does is it needs to be connected to a YouTube channel that you have to verify, and also to a Google+. That's pretty easy to do since I think Google owns YouTube now, and so creating a channel, if you're logged into your Google account, can be done really easily. So I didn't even have to remember a password or anything. And my YouTube channel that I had posted one video on a year ago when I ventured into making videos for my students, and found it and logged me in. So that was no big deal. So the concept is that it's broadcast live. You can invite people to the broadcast. You can decide if it will be available publicly, and then it's searchable, and I guess Google can promote it. Or you can also make it private so that only people with a link can find it. But either way, it's not a good format for something that you want to be private, like really private. That's not going to work. So, but now after this will be uploaded to YouTube as a YouTube video, and I can share the link with whoever I want, which is great for my purposes. I came up with looking for this technology because I am going to, or hoping to, use my dad as a subject matter expert for our group, but my group members live in Pennsylvania and India. The time difference really sucks, and so I'm gonna, and we're gonna talk tonight, but way too late for my poor dad to be up. So I'm going to interview him, hopefully on a Google Hangout on air, record it, and then they can watch it at their leisure anytime that they want. So I think it's a cool technology and definitely something you should try out. Some things not to do: don't run a trial Google Hangout where you try to call from your desktop to your iPad with a different Google identity, because I did that. And their microphones catch every sound that the other one makes, and it started making this crazy, horrible electronic sound in a feedback loop that just getting louder and louder. And I had to shut the whole thing down because I didn't know what was going to happen. So don't do that. The other thing not to do is, if you're going to do screen share, don't do a screen share of your Google Hangout with your Google Hangout, because then it'll do that crazy mirror effect where it goes off into, into infinity in the distance. I can show you what that looks like. It's weird. The other thing that I learned about webcasting as I was Googling and reading about this is to pay attention to the details. So obviously it's recommended to get an external microphone. I have a headset. I decided not to use it because it's going, it can look kind of weird to be. I don't have an external camera. I'm okay with that. I have a Mac. The picture quality looks really crappy anyway on YouTube. And the other thing that I did is I made sure there was plenty of light and tried to remove as many background distractions as possible. You can see that there's a picture behind me and I didn't feel like taking it down, so I just tried to make my head big in front of it. The other thing I did was I picked my computer up and put it on top of a stack of books about 10 inches high so that I'm making eye-to-eye contact. I noticed in our web conferencing that we do for class that a lot of people look like this, and it's just a disconcerting angle to look at people at. So I think it looks a lot better on top of some books. All right, so let me try to look at some of these features. So right now I have a group chat open. I don't know if you can see that. I enabled Showcase. I don't know if this is going to be recorded also. Oh, just kidding. It doesn't want to be enabled. And apparently I can ask questions to my audience with this question and answer feature. Oh, I guess questions. How do I do it? Maybe a little buggy. I don't know how this part works really. So that doesn't seem to be working as well as I'd hope. Well, let me do the screen share. Okay. So here's the share with Google Hangouts. Boy, does that look weird. And now here's the share with this. And what I'd like to do is show you guys. So once you go to Google Hangouts, you get this screen. You can make a video call, a phone call, send people messages. Here's all my friends. And over here on the side, you can see, looks like the same options, but if you go to more, and then you go down to the bottom, and you do Hangout, click on Hangouts on Air, that will get you into this whole system. The other thing I was going to show you guys was the notifications. I don't know if you guys can see this up here, but notifications, what you can do is just scroll down and you can turn on Do Not Disturb, and that will take your messages off so they won't bother your screencast. Okay, so back to you guys. Okay, so I think that's it. I hope that this one worked and that you no, I'm just trying to shut something. I hope that this worked and that you've learned about a new technology. Probably in the future I would edit this to be shorter, but have a great one.